Marmalade, the Long Prowl. A Wandering Spirit's American Odyssey. Part 1, Leaving the Beanpot. Marmalade the cat had grown tired of Boston's narrow alleys, the same old fish scraps at Cheater's Tavern, and James Brogan's endless warnings about staying out of trouble. One crisp September evening, after a particularly disappointing saucer of mediocre cream, he made his decision. He slipped out the back door of Cheater's, hitched a ride on a produce truck heading west, and began what he would later call the Long Prowl, his great American adventure. He started with the simple thrill of motion. The truck rumbled through New England, past fall foliage that made his orange fur look almost understated. In New York City, he spent 3 nights living like feline royalty in the back of a jazz club in Harlem, charming kitchen staff for salmon scraps, and listening to saxophone solos that made his whiskers vibrate with pure joy. Kid, an old tabby named Slim, told him on the 3rd night, "The road don't care what color your fur is. It just keeps rolling. But watch yourself, the bright lights can blind you." Marmalade flicked his tail. "I'm not looking for meaning. I'm looking for better fish and bigger views." Part 2, The Heartland and the Open Road. From New York, he rode freight trains across Pennsylvania and into the Midwest. The vast fields and endless sky felt like freedom itself. In Chicago, he wandered the lakeshore, watching the city lights reflect on Lake Michigan like scattered diamonds. He spent a memorable night in a blues club basement, debating life with a grizzled old stray who claimed to have once belonged to a famous writer. In St. Louis, he crossed the Mississippi on a barge, feeling like a true adventurer. The river was wide and powerful, and for the first time Marmalade understood why humans wrote songs about it. He met a wandering dog named Rusty in Kansas, who taught him how to beg at truck stops without losing dignity. They shared a stolen hamburger under the stars and talked about the road. "Everyone's running from something or towards something," Rusty said. "What are you running toward, cat?" Marmalade looked up at the endless prairie sky. "I don't know yet, but I'll know it when I see it." Part 3, The West begins. In Denver, he climbed as high as his paws would take him, looking out over the Rockies. The mountains made him feel small in the best possible way. Then came Las Vegas. The city of lights hit him like a fever dream. Neon signs blazed 24 hours a day. He strutted down the strip like he owned it, charming tourists for shrimp cocktails and posing for photos with bachelor parties. For 3 glorious nights he lived like a king, sleeping in luxury hotel suites when the maids weren't looking, winning saucers of cream at rigged poker tables, and watching fountains dance like liquid fire. But on the 4th night, the shine began to fade. He met a jaded Siamese named Lola who had once been a star in cat food commercials. She lay on a rooftop overlooking the strip, eyes half closed. "It's all fake, darling," she purred. "They love you until the next pretty face comes along. Then you're back on the street chasing mice like the rest of us." Marmalade looked out over the endless lights and felt something unfamiliar: disillusionment. Part 4, The Canyon and the Silence. He left Las Vegas the next morning, hitching a ride with a kind trucker heading toward Arizona. The Grand Canyon stopped him cold. Marmalade stood on the rim at sunrise, the vast chasm stretching before him like the earth had cracked open to show its soul. The colors, reds, oranges, purples, made his own fur look ordinary. He spent 2 full days there, moving along the trails, watching eagles soar and listening to the wind whisper through the rock. For the first time on his journey, he felt truly small, and strangely at peace. A park ranger's cat named Sage found him sitting on a rock overlooking the canyon. "First time?" Sage asked. Marmalade nodded. "It makes Boston seem very small." Sage purred. "That's the point. The road shows you how big the world is and how small your problems are." Part 5, California Dreaming. Los Angeles was the final destination. Marmalade arrived in Hollywood with high hopes: the palm trees, the ocean, the endless sunshine. He strutted down Hollywood Boulevard, posing for tourist photos and charming studio interns for scraps from craft services tables. But the shine wore off faster than in Vegas. The pretty boys were everywhere, actors with perfect fur and empty eyes, agents promising fame while delivering only crumbs. He met a once famous tabby who had been in 3 movies, and now spent his days begging outside a studio gate. "It's all illusion, kid," the old cat said. "They love you until the next orange sensation comes along." Marmalade sat on a bench in Griffith Park one evening, looking out over the endless lights of the city. Dave the hamster found him there, dusty and determined after his own cross-country adventure. "Hey, Big Orange, you made it." Marmalade blinked. "Dave, what are you doing here?" "Brogan on a case. I got bored, figured I'd see the country, you." "Same bright lights, Hollywood fame, better fish." Dave climbed onto his shoulder. "So, what do you think?" Marmalade looked at the glittering city below. "It's pretty, but it's empty, all sizzle, no tuna." Part 6: The Call Home. James Brogan arrived in L.A. 10 days later, tipped off by a mutual acquaintance who had spotted the orange troublemaker. He found Marmalade and Dave sitting on a park bench in Griffith Park. Marmalade looked uncharacteristically thoughtful. Brogan sat down beside them. "Heard you went on the road." Marmalade flicked his tail. The lights were bright, the fish was average, the company was interesting. Dave piped up. "Tell him about the coyote in Nevada." Brogan chuckled. "Come on, you two. Boston misses you. Cheaters has a new fish special on Thursdays, and the major says the rusty nail is getting too quiet without your chaos." Marmalade stood up, stretched languidly, and jumped into Brogan's arms. "Fine, but next time I'm taking the major. He'd appreciate the absurdity of it all." As they drove toward the airport, the city lights faded behind them. Marmalade purred softly against Brogan's chest. "The road is good for the soul, but home is better when you have people worth coming back to." Brogan smiled. "Welcome home, trouble." The end for now. Marmalade's long prowl had shown him the wonders and the emptiness of the American road. He had seen mountains, canyons, neon cities, and endless skis. And in the end, he discovered that the brightest light was the one waiting back in Boston, at Cheater's Tavern, with friends who understood that even a wandering cat sometimes needs a place to land. Would you like me to expand any specific part of the journey, or add more cities' adventures?